Good afternoon, my many friends and family, mates, esteemed ladies and gentlemen. On the 30th, Monday, March 2026, casting and streaming, broadcasting, transmitting and receiving from the territory 4-T, the century in pursuit of truth, the universal, imperial, solar, jaguar, emperor is here for the greater good. And why? To help and assist you guys into your higher frequencies and higher vibrations through the frequency 33 for better greatness. And refreshing your memories, it's the greatest mass awakening, unstoppable, inevitable and irreversible. Wonderful, beautiful and fantastic. Because we are going places, we are going forward. Remember, the reasons has meaning and purpose. Coincidence becomes incidence. All in the connectiveness and collectiveness of consciousness to the source. Now, we are in a bit of a pickle at the moment with this fuel crisis. Now, let me tell you, these nincompoops like Mr. Albanese, governments and the governments before them, their predecessors, have done nothing but caused all this bad, dark, insidious evil against the populace, the population, the citizens of Australia. They have caused all this, and then they always try and look like the good guy in trying to fix they say mistakes, but they're not. It's all done on purpose. And this is the thing. You know, they can be nincompoops, they can be idiots, they can be dickheads. You can call them every name under the sun, but they're just evil darkness. And the thing is, I wouldn't be annoyed so much and frustrated with it all if it was just a mistake, or if it was they're just incompetent and derelict of their duties. That doesn't hurt so much. But when you find out that they've done all this on purpose, to purposely hurt and harm and put pain and suffering in the general populace, that is really concerning. That is very concerning on what they're doing on purpose. Yes, I wouldn't be annoyed so much. But when people do things on purpose, that is the worst thing you can do. And that only darkness, only true dark, evil, critters, creatures, monsters and demons themselves only have the ability, the dark ability to do this and inflict this pain on their own populace. And why do they do it? As I say, to put fear into you guys so that dark archons can feed of your negative dark energy you're putting out, which is called fear. That's why I always say, show no fear and be strong. I provide, I protect, I produce. Strength. You guys show the courage. And then we become a formidable, pure white light force against the darkness. as we rally around each other in unity, in strength and courage. We have in spades. And there's an emperor, and I think a lot of people underestimate what a true and cosmic emperor, this is how it all works. For the whole universe. We're all joined together. And if you've got gifts, you always use your gifts and your unconditional love and you share it with everybody so we can get out of this dark mess that we so happen to be in this matter of the presence. As I say, we've got plenty of help, assistance and guidance. And I'm not going to go through them all again, but you know who? Throughout the celestic universe, galaxies and beyond. And you become the now and knowing. To push all this dark earth away and become the new earth. And I have great pride, nobility, humble, conditioning, to produce all my gifts to help and assist and support you guys. Purpose, mission, function, help, assist and support you guys. Okay? All in harmony with the frequencies. For the greater good. Because we are conquerors. And this is what we do. This is our jobs. Been doing it for ages and eons now. So, let's sort this planet out once and for all. And is anyone don't know now? I sit in Australia. In Australia for Australians. First things first. Australia for Australians. Look after what's happening in your backyard first. Another great saying, isn't it? Okay. As I said, as I direct, I'm directing that flow out there of divine unconditional love, unconditional truth, unconditional hope, unconditional faith, unconditional compassion, unconditional mercy, only where it's warranted, but we do show mercy. There is exceptions to the rule, but usually the universal law is pretty, it's pretty simple instructions there to process. Not like all this man-made time, man-made laws. That just gets confusing and, you know, that's what they do. They're out there to confuse you guys and they're doing a pretty good darn job of that for the matter of the presence. But as you can see, I'm flesh and blood sitting right before you as a universal, imperial, solar, jaguar, emperor. Never underestimate what anybody can do, especially when you got all the gifts and align with all the planets and you're pulling all that energy in from your Pluto, the royal star Antares, Did I mention Mars? Because they're fighting against each other with that energy flowing in through my chakra crown at the moment. And it's great energy. Pure, white. Well, it's golden. I shouldn't really say white. It is golden energy. And maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I've slipped that out now. The golden light of truth. And that's why you got royal blue, because it's all about truth and loyalty and your higher elevation of the mind. A few things I'm letting slip today, but I'm just, the more and more wakes up, it becomes better for Australia and planet Earth in general. And that's why it's called the greatest mass awakening, unstoppable, inevitable, and irreversible. As we direct the unconditional flow of love out there for each and every one. Grasp it, hold it, enjoy it, and then let it flow out throughout the universe and galaxies. And as I said, through the earth grid, all flows out. And why? Because the reason is purpose and meaning. Meaning with purpose, purpose with meaning. Keep it all in harmony with oneself and everybody else. And direct the energy flow to each and every one of us. And as I say, push out all that toxic negative energy. Don't let these dark archons feed on anything and they'll disappear. They'll go away. They'll go somewhere else where they can do it, and then I guess that's where we're going, to another planet within the solar system. And then you've got to go through all the process again about waking up, knowing your authentic true identity. And yes, it takes decades and centuries. One thing I know for sure, I know my authentic identity now, which is a good thing and for the greater good for all of humanity. Because why? I'm here to help, assist and support you guys. And it's great. It's great. Protection and to protect you guys. That's what I provide. Protection of the faithful, defender of the kingdom. Remember? God's plan, God's glory and God's kingdom. Sit down here as his lieutenant. Not a questioning of when, it is happening now. It's a happening thing. And the more and more loyalists and supporters that come forward and become awake, and esteemed ladies and gentlemen, even teenagers, even the young children, they're already awake when they get here before this evil, insidious, dark doctrination through their curriculums, through the education system. That's why a lot of children at the age of 4 or 5, they'll come up to you and say, do you see that over there? Because their spiritual gateway is open already. And then through the education system, they eventually indoctrinate that child so he loses those, the essence of the spiritual sensory system. All right, transcendence and ascending. What do we have? Vacation. Coming up for vacation for the Easter time, isn't it? But once again, this dark, insidious, evil gangsters, criminals of our government has squashed that. You can't even enjoy Easter because you won't be able to get any fuel. And as I said, that's what annoys me most. They're just not incompetent or derelict of their duties or idiots or nincompoop or just nastiest, that's not too bad. But when they do it on purpose, that makes it more annoying and frustrating. And it makes their actions worse for themselves. Their dark actions, purposely destroying everything and trying to destroy you guys now. They've taken away all your manufacturing factories and smelters, canneries, on and on and on. Car industry, all these industries they destroy, do it on purpose. And why? Because they say, oh, it's cheaper to go offshore because their labour market is cheaper. It's $10 an hour over there in X country, will be Y country, but in the X country over there, it's cheaper. Whereas here in the Y country, we're $50 an hour. So it's our labour costs are dearer to produce it. But as I said before, our labour costs stagnate, their labour costs go up. And when that X country's labour cost goes up to, say, $100 an hour, and Y country here in Australia is still sitting on stagnating at $50 an hour labour costs, what's going to happen then? It's going to cost a fortune to bring it back and import it back to Australia. And this is why with all our industries at that time and factories manufacturing, when we produce stuff, and before, as I said, Keaton floated that Australian dollar, we had our own economy. It was an internal economy flow. We looked after ourselves, produced everything here in Australia, canneries. And we fed ourselves. Now, we export our food overseas and get it done in canneries overseas. Does that make sense? It's not logic sense. It's not logical. As I said, their labour market goes up and overtakes our labour market. We're in all sorts of trouble. Unless we start, and don't get upset, don't raise your voice, don't go punch the fridge or do anything like that. Just sit here and be calm, cool and collective because we know what's going on. You guys know what's going on because the truth is getting out there now. And you tell nothing but the truth. And trust in the truth and trust in God and trust in the process. And it's okay to be annoyed and frustrated. But keep your emotional check. It's called anger, by the way. Keep that anger in check with your scales. Centre, balance and ground yourself. Okay? Going over the top and getting angry and raising your voice and banging and crashing things and smashing things isn't going to help the process because you've let them, you're just falling in their hands because that's what they want you to do. Because then we start fighting amongst ourselves at the petrol pump and stuff like that because the reason is you can't get fuel. So therefore, calm oneself down at the fuel pump. Leave some for your neighbour and your fellow man, woman, whoever's standing next to you, your fellow spirit. It's the best way to put it, your fellow spirit. And leave some for them. And direct your anger, which you've calm, cool and collective now. Calm yourself down. Because you're annoyed and frustrated. I understand that. But we've got to direct that to the evil, dark, insidious critters, creatures, monsters and demons and criminals and gangsters of our government that they have caused on purpose to begin with. And their agenda has taken thousands of years. It's just that now we're caught up in it now because we can see their dark outcomes. And we don't like it. And too right, we don't like it. But now, right before you now, you have a universal, imperial, solar, jaguar, emperor, providing protection. Wake up. The greatest mass awakening. Unstoppable, inevitable, irreversible, for the good of humanity. All right, moving right along now. I'll read that vacation card out. It's probably not the right card at the moment because, as I said, you direct your annoyance and your frustration towards this dark, evil government. Keep it plain and simple. You know who and what and why they do things now, to destroy and put everything in decay. And now it's starting to hurt everybody out there, all us decent folks. Very annoyed and frustrated. And I'll tell you, the COVID was just the start of all these mind-boggling things that this darkness does. But one thing we know for sure, they're pretty silly and stupid because they keep on the one track of their strategic moves is always, yes, supply and demand, divide and conquer. And there's a third phase there too that they do, and they've been doing it all these times, and they're trying to get rid of your critical thinking so you don't see their dark, evil chaos. But we're here to restore order out of chaos. That's how it works. Okay, vacation. You need a break. Perhaps everyone does, even just a break. You're going to get a break anyway because they want to move everything back into the house again, working from home. Anyway, you need a break from routines and stressful situations. This card urges you to take time for yourself so that you can rest and renew. A new beginning. The fairies take regular vacations, travelling to distant fairy glens. They know and respect the value of a change of scenery. By drawing this card, you are strongly counselled to do the same for yourself. A vacation doesn't need to take a lot of time or money. Instead, it means getting away from mundane concerns and demands. Cool and collective. Even one night at a local hotel, leaving your cell phone at home can be therapeutic. Think of a vacation as an investment in yourself and future. All living beings, spiritual beings, need to rest in order to operate at maximum efficiency. After your vacation, your mood and energy levels will be renewed. Just a good night's sleep, and just turn the phone off. Get rid of that technology, the mobile phone. That's another evil contraption that they've put on us. Very addictive. Even I've fallen for that addiction of the mobile phone. It can be used for the good reasons. It can be used for the bad reasons. You'll have better access to creative ideas, and your positive demeanour will attract wonderful new people and opportunities into your life. Don't procrastinate when it comes to taking a vacation. Make definite plans today. Affirmation. I give myself permission to regularly rest and relax, knowing that by being revitalised, I am happier and more productive. And as I said, if I protect and produce and provide the strength, and you guys have the courage, we rally together and unite to make it for the greater good. Beautiful. A phenomenal, powerful force of reckoning. United we stand by my command, and wait for your emperor's command. That's how it works. And that's how it works in the real world, our reality, our realm. The bridging between the spiritual, physical and material worlds. That's what an emperor does. That's his job. That's my job. Okie dokie, moving right along. And why? Because we are conquerors. It is the greatest mass awakening, unstoppable, inevitable, irreversible. Beautiful people, beautiful. Keep your chin up. Stay relaxed. As I said, don't let these dark, evil, insidious things they're throwing at you and stuff they're throwing at you. Chill out. Just chill out. Calm yourself down when you start finding yourself getting frustrated, well, angry. You can be frustrated and annoyed. That's not a problem. But when you get angry and start raising your voice, don't do it. All you're doing is falling in their hands, because part of being angry too, they feed off that anger. They feed off those energy vibrations. And as I said, no need to bang your fist on the table or punch the fridge out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Calm yourself and control yourself. It's all about control. You control. That's all about your discipline. Your discipline. Okay? You center yourself, balance yourself and ground yourself. Okay? And that creates a lot more happiness. And then these dark archons can't feed off your anger energy, and it's dark energy. It's dark energy. You control all your emotions. You just don't go overboard on your emotions. Okay, keep it steady. Steady as we go. Steady as she goes. All right, so obviously we have judgment. 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 Yeah, so I'm a lot more happier when yous are happier. That's how it works, because we're all connectiveness in the collectiveness, in the high consciousness, higher frequencies, higher vibrations. And then, what do we have? The Chariot. Wow. Wow. Wow cards already. Wow cards already. Temperaments. Wow card. It may be. And the Page of Pentacles again. So the query to the question, and you had resonating with this reading, it's a yes. It's a yes. But if you're not too sure either, it's just about getting rid of your toxic. You've still got a bit of dark, toxic energy within your system. Our system. And this is why, as I said, they cause and effect. Another silly game this darkness plays, but it cause and effect, because they cause the trouble, and now it's affecting everybody through the fuel crisis. Houses affects everyone too, because now they're going to rent. And I'll tell you something else. This card's been brought to mind. Okay, your universal imperial solar, jaguar, emperor, for a reason, has meaning and purpose. Now we track down and rout out the dark evil ones, because this is what we do. Now there is a few dark floaters still floating around. As I say, not all, but some. Good and bad in everything, balance the scales. This is why it's about being a big shift. Life, death, transformation, reformation, restoration. And we have much energy through the fields coming through Pluto, Mars, Jupiter, expansion, exploration, Mercury for communications and the right frequencies, putting the right frequencies out there. And the frequencies, the 33, master teacher, selfless, no gains. The only gains I get is seeing you guys all happy. Love it. That's why the unconditional love directs out to each and every one. And this has got to go. This darkness. ASAP. Okay, so it's all about meditation to get rid of it, contemplation, recuperation, relaxation, retreat, renewal, and solitude. There is good in this card too, because remember, it's a 4. It's a 4. Okay, it's a 4 card. And all of you know what number 4 represents now. New earth, new beginnings, the 4 corners of the earth, the square, the compass, earth, wind, fire, and air, and ether. Could be 5 too, couldn't it? Yeah. Good to see. People are switching on now and get them with the program. Because I have many seats in my ship. Now, just make sure you get on board before the ship sails. Form, completeness, foundations, progress, power, stability. And it's an air, 3rd decan Libra. The 4 of Swords. Okay, so it's a maybe, but what I said, and loosen up and listen to what I said before about the darkness, but that can also have a different meaning of us. As I said with that last card was all about vacation too, okay? Like a double-edged sword, isn't it? So, 2 meanings. Take the good reading there and have plenty of rest with your vacation. Okay, so maybe card. Maybe. But the answer, the general reading is a yes. Because we have judgment. We have the judgment. And with the Chariot and Temperance. Okay, so it's a 20, which goes back to a 2. And remember, the territory of 4-T. And the sanctuary, pursuit of truth. Because we can. That's what stage and phase we are at now. And as I said, you can see all this darkness being squashed now. A lot needs to be coming to light. The veil, you're slowly seeing through the veil. I see through the veil. I see things that you don't. But that's why I give you the truth here. as a gift from my Creator. Well, our Creator. It's our Creator. Judgment 5, Pluto. Balancing polarities. All about the polarities too, isn't it? Judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase. Absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, mercy. The greatest mass awakening. Unstoppable, inevitable, irreversible. Abracadabra, presto. The Chariot. Number 7, good luck. Water, Cancer. Willpower and control. Movement, progress, action, interrogation. We'll be doing a lot of interrogation of this dark matter that has fallen upon us. We'll get to the bottom of it. And then they'll get to the bottom of the dark pit that we throw them into through the fire and brimstone, back to Hades, hell, and the underworld. 3 things we know it as. But it comes from other many names that we're not even aware of. But be rest assured, the devil himself is waiting for those dark souls back that he claims back, reclaims, that escaped him. Progress, action. Wait for it by my command. Stand fast. Be ready. Be prepared. Willpower, control, direction, departure, and courage. Okay, so then we have temperaments. And don't forget, it's all about taking back the reins. Taking back the reins. There was once upon a time, and the point of the matter that was stolen from us eons ago. Unfortunately, they just know how to control through darkness. Us guys, we control through light and truth. Fortune reduces to a 5. 5, we had 5 the other day. The number 5 represents change and options. Consider all options. Once you consider all your options, you will be drawn to your emperor. Because this is what happens. The crown, chakra crown, draws in the crowd. When the crowds start resonating and in harmony with the right higher frequencies, all I can say is we're going to be a formidable force to reckon with. And this darkness and evilness will disappear. Balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, and finding meaning. Another beautiful card, isn't it? And then the Page of Pentacles, which pushes the message out there, and the message goes out like wildfire. Connect the dots, keep connecting the dots, putting the jigsaw, the puzzle together. And yes, it comes up trumps. Now the Page of Pentacles, manifestation, financial opportunity. Put all your skills together. They're your beautiful tools and devices, your skills and gifts. Development, ambition, desire, and diligence. The diligence and desire and ambition to go forth and destroy once and for all this darkness. Keep telling the truth and nothing but the truth. Trust in the truth, trust in the process, and trusting God. I think these three Arcana cards, they tell a little story by themselves, do they not? Ambition, desire, inspiration. Because we go forward in leaps and bounds with strength, courage, honour, integrity, charity, compassion. Show mercy where it's warranted. And direct the unconditional flow of love out to each and every one of you. Because you need this, the most important thing in the matter of the presence is unconditional love. Because you're hurting. And we need healing. And we need to get over and around or move this darkness out of our way. We route it out. And as I said, the thing that annoys me the most is these evil bastards are doing it on purpose. As I said, it wouldn't worry me so much, but it'd still worry me if they were just derelict of their duties, or nincompoops, idiots, or dickheads, or just morons, but they're not. They're dark, evil, insidious, hideous, horrible, terrible creatures, monsters, and demons ruling and controlling the populace through their mad, evil, insane darkness of controlling the webs, dark evil webs that they weave. Deception, deceiving, treachery, betrayal. This is what they instill on the general populace so they can feed off your energy. They're creating fear in you guys. And I always say, you've got to be strong. And I provide protection. As I say, protection to the faithful. This is what I do. You have courage. That's what you give, courage. And we become doers. We become doers. Because we do things and hold and held these dark, evil, insidious creatures, critters, monsters and demons accountable for what they've done to humanity. Okie dokie, and I'll tell you why. Because it's the greatest mass awakening, unstoppable, inevitable, irreversible, abracadabra, and presto, we have judgment and justice. Because they don't know, this darkness wouldn't have any idea what responsibilities are because it's not in their curriculum. Even all these other, they've just got a different way of life and how we do things in the light. They do things in the dark, we do things in the light. And trust me, one of my gifts here is the Jaguar, as she's all aware of now, is the night sun. I see through their veils that they hide all this darkness from you guys. And it's a great thing that I'm sitting here in front of you guys now, pointing you guys and showing you the light and the beacon of light in the right directions. Don't cave into their temptations. It's really simple. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, amen. Everybody knows we're transmitting, broadcasting, casting out. From the territory, 4-T, the sanctuary, pursuit of truth, mastery of life, mastery of oneself, in your higher consciousness, higher vibrations, higher frequencies, universal, imperial, solar, jaguar, emperor, has arrived here now knowing it is done to help assist and support humanity. Amen.